Today I want to take you through 5 daily habits you need to follow if you want to drop 20 pounds in just 2 months. But these habits aren't going to be your typical exercise daily, eat clean and go for more walks, because I'm guessing you probably already know you need to do that. So instead, these habits are going to be 5 micro habits you can follow every day to ensure you get the important stuff done. Real quick, I'm Louis. I've been in the fitness scene for almost 8 years now, and I've spent hundreds of hours coaching clients on the floor, and these habits are my go-to recommendations for anyone wanting to drop weight fast. Let's start with the first habit, because I think it's arguably the most important. I want you to imagine this. The alarm clock goes off, you jump out of bed, get in the shower, the morning's running smoothly. You're right on time for work, so you grab your coat, you head to the front door, and oh no, you're missing your keys. They're not in your pockets or the usual place you leave them. It's only after 15 minutes of frantically running around the house stressing balls when you finally find them. You leave for work 5 minutes late, only to get halfway and completely forget about the lunch you'd packed in the fridge. Bit of a shit scenario, but I'm sure it's one we can all relate to. So this first micro habit is going to ensure we never run into a situation like that again, but it also gives us total peace of mind every morning from now on. And that's planning tomorrow today. Imagine you wake up, you've already got your work clothes ready, keys waiting for you at the door, and lunch all packed up and ready to go. You'd be able to wake up, shower, and head straight to work without a hassle. Not only that, your morning routine, which might have taken you 45 minutes, now gets condensed down to a quick 15 minutes. And guess what you can do with that extra 30 minutes spare? A morning walk, a morning workout, a bit of meal prep. Planning tomorrow the night before comfortably gives you space to do those big actions that are going to help you drop those 20 pounds. So here's everything I like to prep the night before. Keys, clothes, including your workout clothes or work clothes, then also technology like charging your phone, and any food I might need for the day. 5 minutes a night can potentially save you 30 minutes in the morning. But getting yourself ready for the morning is only one side of the coin. And when you pair it with this next micro habit, you become a machine for shedding pounds. The hurdle that'll trip 99% of guys over if they try and dive into losing 20 pounds in just 2 months is they aggressively jump into the exercise routine. They go from doing nothing to eating clean, exercising daily, trying to get their steps in, and they might do well for a week or two, but eventually they burn out. So by following our first daily habit and then integrating the second daily habit, we can ensure this weight loss attempt is the last one we do. And our second habit is audit your days. The thing most people overlook about losing weight is everyone does it differently. How I lose 20 pounds is going to be completely different to how you lose 20 pounds. Maybe the same actions, but not the same structured day. What this does is give us the ability to dissect our day and move certain activities around that's going to best suit us. For example, you might work a 9 to 5, and the night before you plan to work out in the morning and have 4 meals spread out throughout the day. You might wake up and try that plan out, hitting the gym in the morning, but only to realize that it's extremely cold and pretty hard to get yourself motivated. So at the end of the day, you audit how that day went and you decide, actually, morning workouts are kind of crap and I'd much rather do it after work before I get home. What you've just done is created a plan for how you wanted the day to go. You tried it, you figured out what you didn't like and what worked, and then you made tweaks accordingly. The value here is you can slowly refine this day after day. This is what I like to call a fitness system. It's how your day is structured to help you achieve success. And the cool thing is, instead of finishing your day and maybe messing up, you don't say, oh, well, I guess I just can't lose weight or I'm not disciplined enough. You just look at how you structured the day, you figured out what went wrong, where and why, and then you make a tweak and try again. Ultimately, you're going to find a perfect day that's super easy to follow. It doesn't feel like it's getting in the way or interfering with other life activities, and you're still going to lose the weight. This is how you can ensure this weight loss attempt is the final one. But it's only possible if you plan out the day, and then at the end of every day, you have a look over and you figure out what went wrong. So these 2 habits are your bread and butter for losing 20 pounds in just 2 months. But if there's one thing that's going to throw you off the horse and stop you from actually doing these habits, it's going to be mental fatigue. And as a coach who's trained a number of people on the gym floor, by far, one of the biggest hurdles is mental fatigue. You've probably experienced it before, this overwhelming tiredness or just exhaustion that not even a good night's sleep can fix. It's like all your motivation to eat clean and do exercise just goes kaput. So if you want to avoid mental fatigue coming through and stopping you from achieving those 20 pounds in 2 months, you're going to want to do my third daily habit, brain dumping. I'll explain what to do in just a minute, but first let's have a look at a couple of studies so we can really understand why this daily habit is so important. The first study is called the Zeigarnik Effect Study. Bulmer Zeigarnik discovered that table waiters had a far better recollection of people's orders while the table was still dining. But the moment the tables got up, paid and left, the waiter completely forgot the orders. This study found that incomplete tasks will just keep running in the back of your mind, almost like when you have a bunch of tabs open on a computer. And what that does over time is it starts to slowly burn more mental energy. Another study called the Baylor University Sleep Study found something really similar. Researchers found that writing a simple to-do list before bed helped participants sleep longer and deeper. Both of these studies reinforce the idea that if you've got incomplete tasks or things that you're worrying about in the back of your mind, it's going to slowly burn you out and slow you down. And the reason this is so important for weight loss is because so many people already have a full glass and they're trying to lose weight by adding in more exercise and eating clean and getting out more, and their glass is already jam-packed. A brain dump is going to clear your cup and give you the mental space to actually pursue this goal. So how do we brain dump? Well, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down everything that's going on in your life. Stresses, worries, things that annoy you, things that scare you, and even tasks that you haven't done or maybe you want to get around to doing soon. Now I know this sounds a little woo-woo, but trust me, putting everything down on paper gives you a really clear bird's eye view on just what's going on in your life. Where is your focus on things? How many different things have you got running? And it also lets you know what's worth just getting rid of. Sometimes things will just pop up that you had no idea you were thinking about. And if you can keep on top of the little things, you'll give yourself the mental energy to actually continue pursuing this weight loss goal. After doing that, we can move on to our fourth daily habit, and it's going to be the single best thing you can do for your diet. Because we all know if you want to lose 20 pounds, ultimately the diet is going to be the number one thing that helps us get there. So to ensure we have a flawless diet, we need to eliminate food decisions. By reducing the total amount of times or decisions you need to make around food, especially if you're tired, stressed, or hungry, you can prevent 95% of your slip-ups. And this all starts around doing one big supermarket shop. Here's an analogy to explain why one supermarket shop is so impactful. Take two crack addicts. One of them lives right next door to his dealer and he walks past the house every single day, while the other one lives all the way across town. Who do you think out of those two crack addicts is going to buy more crack? The answer's pretty easy, right? The guy that lives right next to his dealer is going to buy way more crack. It's a no-brainer. Who do you think is going to slip up on more diets? The guy that's going to the supermarket once a week or the guy that goes 3 or 4? By deciding what meals you want to eat beforehand, something for breakfast, something for lunch, and something for dinner, you can prepare a big grocery list, buy everything all at once, and then you're sorted for the week. This prevents you from slipping into the supermarket in the middle of the week after a big day at work when you're stressed and hungry, and keeps you on track with eating all of the best foods. And to make this even easier, you can plan your meals the night before when you do your daily planner. So let's get on to the final habit, because it's a short and sharp one, but it's going to ensure that you stick on track through those hard times and long enough to see the progress. Because unfortunately, with fitness, there is a level of blind trust involved. You're probably not going to see a lot of progress in the first week or sometimes even the first month, but you are going to feel the sacrifice. You've got to get rid of all your favorite foods. You've got to go into a cold room and lift heavy weights or sweat on a treadmill. It can be very hard to stay motivated in those first few weeks when you're doing all of these unenjoyable actions and not seeing a lot of benefits from it. So the final habit is going to be meditate on your goals. Now, I know that's more woo-woo talk, but hold on. I don't mean meditate like put a monk robe on and sit on the floor for 30 minutes. But just understand that when things get hard, you'll need something to remind you why you're doing it. A meditation practice simply looks like spending 5 or so minutes just going through what life is going to look like if you don't achieve the weight loss, and then spend some time visualizing what life would look like if you did lose the weight. How you'd look, how you'd feel. That way, when things get hard and you don't feel like continuing, you're going to have that fresh vision of why you're doing the hard things that's going to keep you striving towards losing those 20 pounds. But that's it. So if you like these 5 habits and you found this valuable, right down below, you can get 31 more daily habits that I send over in short and sharp emails. Otherwise, YouTube recommends this video that you should watch next. YouTube's pretty good, so maybe you should listen to them. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, cheers.